Like and subscribe. African Americans, Hebrew Israelites. The April 5th protests by Caucasians and Mexicans and whoever that are calling us to participate are enablers of Donald Trump. And April 5th has absolutely nothing to do with us. It is about the farmers losing their subsidies. It is about DEI being revoked. It is about white people and other ethnicities being treated the way we have been treated. Trump has done absolutely nothing to us. Nothing. As far as segregation is concerned, we have always wanted segregation. In the 1920s, we had segregation. We had two Black Wall Streets. The Wall Street in New York was owned by us. We had 140 black banks in 1920, which means we had a bank in every state. And we had towns and cities in every state. And they were bombed by the United States government. And Caucasians have always supported the United States government. Neither Republicans or Democrats want to pay reparations. We do not have a dog in this fight. Okay, Trump says, but going back to segregation, we never wanted to live with them. We wanted our own towns and cities, and we wanted to get away from them. Did we invite them to Harlem, to our dance clubs in Harlem? No. Did we ask them to listen to Motown music? No. They invaded our space. They invaded our space. Understand that. They want integration. We want segregation, and we've always wanted it. Why would you want to live with a person who has enslaved you and treated you like less than a man and woman? Why would you want to live with them? We didn't want to live with them. We wanted segregation. And if you think about it now, we want it now. Zimmerman murdered Trayvon Martin, and they set him free. Why would we want to live with them? They caused the murder of Martin Luther King. Why would we want to live with them? They caused the murder of Fred Hampton. They put drugs in our communities. Why would we want to live with them? Why would we support them in anything? Makes no sense. Like Malcolm X said, eventually the roosters come home to roost. Or the chickens come home to roost, or whatever it was, meaning that eventually whites were going to turn on whites, which is what is happening. The oligarchs is turning on them. Trump said, if you elect me one more time, you won't need to vote again. He wants to be a dictator. And all the enablers are suffering. If they don't kiss his ass, they're going to suffer. He doesn't care about them. He's an oligarch. The Bible tells you a rich man has as much chance of entering heaven as a camel has of passing through the eye of a needle. Now, if you go to some sites on YouTube, they'll show the eye of a needle they'll show a barn door and says, this is the eye of the needle that Jesus was talking about. That if a barn door is the size of an eye of a needle, Jesus wouldn't have came up with the quote. It makes no sense for him to even say that. But you know, demons do what demons do. But I want you to watch this. Everything that evil is doing is working in the reverse. Everything Trump is doing is working in reverse. He tries to hurt black people, but he is hurting Caucasians and their minorities, their minions that have been taught, the other ethnicities that have been taught to hate black people. Understand this. We are God's chosen people, and they know it. They know good and well when Egyptians refuse to take a DNA test, they're trying to hide something. They know good and well when Israelis make it against the law to take a DNA test, they're trying to hide something. And the only thing people ever want to hide is the truth and things that are of value to them. And the Egyptians and the Israelis, it is of value to them to pretend to be us. They are not us. They are Neanderthals. We are Homo sapiens. We try to civilize them. And unfortunately, a large amount of them haven't changed at all. And if you are a black person marching on April 5th, you will be marching with MAGA Republicans and racists who are using you to their benefit. They are using you to their benefit because the reason why they voted for Trump anyway is because he's a racist or pretends to be, and they expected him to re-enslave us. They didn't expect that Trump would turn on them, but Trump didn't turn on them. Told them what he was going to do. But see, they were intellectually illiterate because they are emotional people. And they thought that they was going to benefit from hate. I've told people in many, many videos, there is no honor among thieves. Trump is a rapist, thief, and convicted felon. He created a VA charity and stole from it. But they voted for him with the hope that he would attack African Americans. But oligarchs want money. And they're going to attack who they can make money off of. Now, can they make money off black people? African Americans? Yeah. They make money off of us in entertainment, in sports, in music, movies. They need us to make money in the arts. They don't need middle class and poor Caucasians for anything. They don't need them to make money. But it's come to a point where they've decided to take their money. They're going to take their money. And African Americans, we're going to survive all of this. I mean, this segregation thing, we don't want to be one. It's just going to make us do what? Work for ourselves. See, And then we come to, the funny thing about it is that white people were getting more welfare than black people. White farmers, are you kidding me? They were getting government subsidies. Now they're not getting the government subsidies, and they're crying because they were supported by the government. They didn't pull themselves up by their bootstraps. They were given the land that was taken from the Indians that has been in their family for decades, and they were given subsidies to farm the land. And if you go down south, they couldn't even farm the land. They needed slaves who had experience in farming. They couldn't do anything. And the proof of that is that as soon as the government cut that subsidy, which is nothing for another word for welfare, they started crying. Now they want us to march after lynching us in trees to protect their subsidies, to bring back DEI, which they benefited from. You even have white kids going to historically black colleges. Makes no sense. Understand this. All the things that Trump is doing is a plus for us because it makes us depend on who? It makes us depend on ourselves. And necessity is the mother of creation. Necessity is the mother of intelligence and wisdom because it makes you do what? Reach deep within to touch the stars above and to rise on your own. We've done it so many times it's ridiculous. Slavery necessitated for us to create a way to get out of it. Then, after we got out of slavery, and they tried to make us into indentured servants, we found a way to get out of that in the 1920s, made our own towns and cities. Now, only thing Trump is doing is repeating the things that we have defeated already. There is nothing that they have done to us that we have not been able to defeat. And right now, they're just rehashing the old things they did, which is going to what? Which is going to bring out the best in us. So marching on April 5th doesn't even make sense for us because they don't consider us part of America anyway. They don't consider us a part of America. And I'll say one other thing. If you hate God's chosen people, then you hate God for creating us. Like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you later.